Hello everybody and welcome to a rant video. That's right, we're straight up ranting today. Listen, I've been on YouTube for a really long time. I've been watching YouTube. I've been making YouTube videos for a bit now. And I just kind of want to talk about the state of the internet today because I've been noticing that it's kind of getting worse. It just keeps getting worse from where we're at right now. And you'll know what I mean later on in the video. And this isn't I want to be clear. This isn't supposed to be like, oh, I hate the internet. I'm quitting YouTube because fucking internet's terrible or whatever. But I do want to talk about a lot of issues that the internet has, a lot of issues that people have on the internet that need to be fixed at this point. Something needs to change. Something's got to give. But yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is probably one of the more obvious ones, especially nowadays. There is just so much hatred in YouTube comments, in internet reviews, in internet posts, in actual news outlets articles. There's just nothing but angry people. And I don't know how to feel about that. Cause on one hand, yeah, vent your anger, get your shit out to the world, but also, I don't know, every single game that's come out in the past 2 to 3 years, every YouTube video that releases, it doesn't matter. There's people in the comments saying that it's despicable or that it's the worst thing they've ever seen, basically non-functional, just the worst possible takes for stuff that's great too. I remember back when Elden Ring came out, people were complaining about it. People were saying that it was a terrible game. And I mean, I understand having your own personal opinion, but I think when people were going through and tearing down other people, trying to make them feel bad about themselves because they enjoyed something, that's when it becomes a problem for me. Because I think posting your own opinion, whatever, it's your opinion. No one really cares at the end of the day, and that's exactly why it's fine. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anyone. But I've seen so many comments on people's YouTube videos saying you're a horrible person that shouldn't be alive, and it's Mr. Beast, and it's wait, hold on though, what? but where did that come from? There has to be some amount of projection there. They're 100% projecting insecurities onto people that don't deserve it. But with a situation like that, it's very much the person commenting doesn't trust the YouTuber or something, or the person commenting wants publicity, because that also happens a lot. There's a bot trend in the comments of popular videos that has been happening for years now, where they will be my content is better, or if they know that a family member of that YouTuber has died, let's say it was their grandma, then they will go in the comments and be I hope you join your grandma in hell. These people are deplorable. They're awful people. And it's amazing to me that stuff like this is so common ground on YouTube, that people are just ignoring it now. People are just whatever. That's normal. That happens in every video. And it's wait, really? We're just accepting this? We're just letting this happen? And at the end of the video, towards the end of this rant that we're doing, I am going to be offering not solutions, because I'm not a scientist, I don't know shit, but ideas that could help out on a personal level for this type of stuff that you can do to make this a better situation. Because at the end of the day, we are just I'm a one person, you're one person. We can't literally change the internet. That's not gonna happen, at least not right now. I don't have that much influence. I got 600 subscribers, but I feel it's very important to talk about. And if by the off chance I can influence anybody with this video to be better about this type of stuff, or to have a better time with the internet, then I think I succeeded. But back to the topic, back to what we were talking about. There's just a lot of anger and people just being hateful on the internet, and I don't know how to feel about it, because I said, on one hand, it is just people spreading their information or spreading their opinion around the place. But on the other hand, you get the people who take it so far, like what I was talking about, where these people will be this gaming company deserves to be nuked. And it's I don't know. I get it's just words, but I feel like you're taking it a little too far at that point. And obviously, it's a gaming corporation. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't care that they're being insulted. They don't care that they're being threatened. But it's one of those things where, like, I could never see myself typing that out, rereading it, then deciding that it was good enough to send. Like, that, it just feels so weird to me that people would be so, like, angry. So angry. Because, like, obviously there's stuff to be mad about. There's stuff to be mad about for sure. But that stuff to be mad about is not like, oh, Naughty Dog released a game. Like, that's not the thing to be angry about right now. But that's what people are mad about. Like, every game that comes out. I don't think there's been a single game that has come out in the past 4 or 5 years, that hasn't been called woke or something like that, which, that's the next thing. What a good transition. That's the next thing I want to talk about. The term woke and what it's become and what it means and what it is. This shit is obnoxious is what it is. That's what it's become. It's become obnoxious, annoying, bad, not a good term. Like, it's, before, woke used to be like, okay, it's a term for when gaming industries or movie industries decide to put, like, nothing but diversity into their movie or something like that. And that's, in my opinion, that doesn't matter. Who the fuck cares, honestly? Let people hire diversity if they want to. It's not that big of a deal. Let them have fun. Or on the alternate scale, if they're just hiring whoever shows up, that's not a big deal either. I think it's only a problem if they are specifically, like, excluding people. That's when it becomes an issue, is the exclusion of people. I think not including people, it's like, you know, I'm not gonna get mad at a game because it doesn't have a gay person in it, you know? But at the same time, if you're going out of your way to, like, specifically fire and not hire gay people, then there's a problem. But back to the original topic at hand. The word woke. At this point, this is just used to describe something that people don't like, because there is no reason for it at all. I have heard people call Halo Infinite woke. The fact of the matter is, that just doesn't make fucking sense. There is no diversity in Halo Infinite. Everybody is a faceless Marine. You can't even see their gender. They don't have gender. They have types. That's, like, there is no gender. And people are like, oh, it's so woke. How? How does that happen? Same with, like, even just random games that have come out recently. I'm pretty sure I saw a post on Reddit saying that Amnesia the Bunker was woke. Amnesia the Bunker. How the fuck does that happen? Like, this just, it's become so useless at this point. This term has lost every meaning. This term has lost all usefulness to it. If you say woke nowadays, you're more so either joking entirely, you're making fun of those people who actually use that term, or you're probably a flat earther. Let's be real. Like, most of the time, the people using this term woke don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because it's not woke at all. There is no wokeness to be found. And even if there was, who the fuck cares? Why is that ruining the game for you? Like, that's what I don't get. These people will see a game, and they'll see that the game has a gay person in it, and then they'll let that ruin their entire experience with that game? When in my opinion, it's like, okay, but who the fuck cares? If the game is fun, if you're having, like, a good time with it, why would you quit all of that because there's a gay person in your game, you know? It's very weird. And, you know, obviously this video is revealing a lot about my stances on stuff or about my personality. And I don't even fucking care at this point. I don't even care, because I just feel like it's necessary to talk about this type of stuff, because at this point the internet is so filled with, like, just negative shit everywhere. And I feel like it's leaking into the people. It's leaking into the comments. It's leaking into the reviews, everything. And I think it's important to talk about this type of stuff, because even though I'm, like, you know, a very small YouTuber with 600 subscribers, I want to build a community that's good. I want to build a community that I'm proud of. So if you're one of those people going around calling everything woke, you know, commenting on every single comment section, calling them terrible, or, like, saying that they deserve to burn in hell with their dead grandma, don't watch my channel. Don't. Just go away. Just leave me alone, man. Because at the end of the day, that is just harmful to everybody. You're not helping anything. You're not being funny. You're not being quirky. There is no humor. There's no personality. You're not being unique. You're literally falling into the same category as every other douchebag on the internet. That's it. That's the end of it. And with that being said, we're going to transition over to douchebags on the internet. Now we're going to talk about YouTubers. That's right. We're moving over. We're covering everything today. We're getting all the bases covered because I need to rant about the internet. This shit is obnoxious. It really is. It's obnoxious. Because I've been watching YouTube for a very long time. I know the YouTube sphere. I know the YouTubers on the YouTube sphere. And seeing, like, most of them at this point in time, like, in 2023 when this video is released, most of the people that I used to watch as kids or that I used to know about as kids have come out as either groomers,
Baba Booey,
terrible people, like, just the worst deplorable stuff possible. But I do want to clear up, that is not including Super Mega, which is that's the only controversy that we've ever covered on this channel. And I want to say, as like a bit of a retrospective, I don't think Super Mega are terrible people. I don't think they're the awful bane of the earth. I think when it comes to YouTubers, they're probably better than most, which is sad because they made like such a huge mistake, like such a big mistake. It was all pure idiocy, very, very stupid, not knowing how to do stuff, and that bit them in the ass very much. But I don't think that they're horrible people, and I wanted to clear that up because that is the only controversy that we've covered on the channel, and I don't want people to connect dots that aren't there. I don't want people to be like, oh, he must be talking about Super Mega, he must hate that. No, I don't care. I really don't. At this point, that has completely passed by. I don't care about Super Mega. I think no matter what they do, it's fine. I don't care. Like, they can go back to making content. They could stay off the platform forever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I do, in my personal opinion, I think the best course of action would be for them to take a break for quite a while, like a couple years at least, then make a valiant return with better personality, less likelihood of, like, you know, them using their platform to get into people's pants, Ryan. Because even though that did happen with consenting adults, you know, it's like two people that are, you know, they both agreed to it. But it's also, it feels really weird using your YouTube status to get stuff, you know? But either way, we're not here to talk about Super Mega. We're here to talk about YouTubers in general that groom people, that become terrible people off of fame. How the fuck does that happen? In my opinion, that is the most obscure shit because it doesn't make sense to me. I get how it happens. I get, like, the idea behind it. These people get money, get access to fame, then they think that they're hot shit, and they start using their power that they gained for nefarious reasons, not realizing that it's nefarious, or realizing that it's nefarious, and doing it anyway. But at the end of the day, I guess I could just never really see myself in a position where I'm like, I have so much money that I'm better than this guy. Or, like, I have so many subscribers that this guy's opinion doesn't matter anymore. I don't think that would ever happen with me. I just don't see it happening at all. I don't know how it does happen because it's such a logical leap. It's such a brain jump. Like, you literally have to be tiptoeing around the realism. Like, you are avoiding reality at every point in time if you're believing that. Because at the end of the day, if you're a YouTuber, you're not special. You're really not. I know that a lot of people are gonna hate that opinion, and they're gonna be like, oh, well, the fuck do you mean? They only succeeded because they're special. I think that's just false, honestly. Let's be real. These people succeeded because they have a gimmick or a personality that people enjoyed and latched onto. It's not because they're better than anybody. It's not because they're, like, a superior being. They're literally just humans still. If anything, a lot of people are better than YouTubers because they're doing, like, super important stuff, like scientists or the people working at NASA trying to figure out how to build a, like, living, sustainable place on Mars. I think those are the only people that get to be like, all right, I am a little bit more important than this guy. But even in that situation, I think it's such a minuscule amount where it's like, it literally doesn't matter. It would be like if you had a pile of 15 scientists and a pile of 15 not scientists, and you had to decide which group dies. that would be the point in time where it matters. That's literally the only point in time where it matters, because then you choose the scientist. And it's like, it's weird how this dynamic happens where these people, not only the people making the channels, but the people watching the channels are like, oh my god, this guy is so much cooler, I have to praise him, he's better than me. It's like, it's insane to me how this happens. And I want to say, like, I don't think all YouTubers are bad at all. I don't think all YouTubers are terrible people or anything like that. But I think it happens way too often for it to be, like, I don't know, it's just so common. It's so commonplace on YouTube. Every single person ends up, like, getting this certain level of power and becoming, like, douchier off of it. And it's like, why? How? Even recently, I'm not gonna go into detail about it at all, but Too Mad, a YouTuber that I used to watch, a YouTuber that I used to, like, love watching, at this point has basically just lost his mind, and now he's going basically insane on Twitter, like, shit posting everywhere, posting a bunch of stuff about a bunch of stuff that happened with him. If you want to know more information about that, I suggest doing your own research, because I am not the one to talk about this. I'm done covering controversies. I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it at all. But for context, we have to mention this because I'm going to use Too Mad as an example. Too Mad used to be hilarious. He used to be a, like, great content creator. He was up there with the top tier content creators. And then he started doing really weird shit. And then he started, like, you know, acting like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything false. Like I said, I'm not here to cover this. But he has lost it. The YouTube power went to his head. At this point in time, he is just saying whatever the fuck he wants. He has gone full Joker mode. He's posting YouTube videos with EDP as a thumbnail. Like, he's lost it. He has lost it at this point. And it's amazing to me how someone with such a promising setup, you know, he was known as the uncancelable. Genuinely, that's what people called him. They said that he was uncancelable. And then he does this type of shit where it's like, just so far gone. You're just so far gone in the sauce. You're lost at that point. And there is no semblance of reality. There is no stakes at all. Because in his eyes, it's just a joke. For him, he's just joking around, having fun, and people are overreacting or whatever. And that is amazing to me. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about any of the context. I'm not going to say what actually happened with Too Mad, because I'm just using him as an example of just straight up YouTuber, had a ton of respect, ton of viewers, ton of, like, people supporting him, and then he completely lost his mind and, like, used the power to his head to do stuff and to become crazy. And now at this point, he's just unhinged. He's just unhinged, doing whatever the fuck comes out of his brain instantly with no consequence. And he thinks there's no consequence, but I'm pretty sure pretty soon there's going to be some consequence. Either way, not important, just an example. Again, I do not want to talk about Too Mad. I don't want to talk about any more controversies. The last thing I want to do is make this channel like a controversy channel. I know that there's some out there that are good, like Moist Critical. Moist Critical is a great controversy channel, great variety channel that talks about, like, basically everything that's going on YouTube. Basically every situation that happens, he's there to cover it. Every single one. So there is definitely good people out there like that are covering this stuff, but I don't want to cover this type of stuff because I don't want to spread misinformation. I don't want to deal with the comments, because even in the Super Mega video, some of the comments were so, I don't want to be mean, but some of them were so fucking dumb. So dumb. And it's not like I really don't want to be mean, because I feel bad calling them stupid, but they really are. They're so stupid. Just so stupid. And I feel bad for saying it, but it's just so true. It's just so stupid. Because some of them are sitting there being like, oh, I didn't watch Matt's response, or I didn't watch Ryan's response, but I don't think what they did was that bad. It's like, dude, you can't even say that yet. You don't know. You have no clue. You don't have the context. You can't be speaking about this like you were there. And stuff like that. happened a lot in those comments, and I don't want to go into it because again, I don't want to become a drama channel. I really don't. This is probably the last amount of drama that we're going to be covering on this channel, at least for a very long time. Honestly, this morning, I was fucking seething. I'm not even gonna lie. I was seething. Because I was sitting there just like scrolling through YouTube, looking at the state of the internet, and I was pissed off. I was like, this is not good. What happened? I remember like 5 years ago, it wasn't like this. What happened to the platform? And I think that's what we're talking about today. That's really all this boils down to, is a rant talking about how the internet it's been on a steady decline, or a steady gain, I guess, of like terrible people. Like all the shitty people that were like, oh, the internet's for losers and pussies. Like those people are now on the internet, and it's like, wait, I thought you said that this was boring and lame, and now you're coming through and insulting everybody on the internet, and you like it because you can insult everybody with no consequence. And that's happening a lot recently. And I don't like to assume stuff. I don't like to come up with like little conspiracy theories, but I can only assume that COVID was like a huge push towards this, where so many people were stuck at their house with nothing to do, so they started experimenting with video games and the internet and stuff like that. And then all the douchey people that were abstaining away from the internet realized that it was actually a valuable tool, and now they are like, you know, on here too, ruining it for everyone else. That's what it feels like, at least. But I say that, but then also this stuff has been happening for so long. This stuff has been happening for an incredibly long time, where it's just super negative all the time. People are complaining about stuff constantly. But there is common ground on the internet. There is common ground. I don't want it to seem like literally everything that comes out is like complained about. It's almost like that. But then there's some exceptions, like Into the Spider-Verse, where I genuinely haven't seen a single complaint about that movie, because it's so good. It's so good. Same with Puss in Boots. Like those, like honestly, it's a lot of movies. Movies nowadays, they're getting so much praise. And the only game that I can think of right now, at least, that has this type of like universal, everybody's been loving this shit, is Baldur's Gate 3. And even with that, I've seen people calling it woke because you can like be gay and stuff, and it's like, it's D&D. You can do whatever you want. That's the whole point. If you want to not date anyone, you can. If you want to date literally every single person in your party, there's consequences, but you can do that. Like, they will be mad at each other, but you can do that. And I think that that's a neat option, but I don't think it's woke. I don't think that they were like, oh, let's try to be woke by putting in the option to fuck whoever you want. It's like, what? I don't know. There's just so many things like that where it's like, I just genuinely think people on the internet don't think before they do anything. And I think that's what this boils down to. I think really, to wrap this whole video up, think before you speak. On the internet, on comment sections, on video games, do your research as well. When it comes to stuff like this, if you think a video game is woke, look up the definition of woke. If you think a video game is woke, look into the development of that video game. Were they purposefully trying to only hire diverse crowds? Because if so, you can call it woke. But even then, that's not a fucking bad thing. Who cares if they are? If they're going out of their way to hire only diversity, why is that a big deal? Why do you care so much? Why does it affect your day to the point where you're like, oh, I will never purchase from this company again because they're gay? It's so far from any sort of logic to me. But to wrap this video up, all I want to say is, like, if you're commenting, if you're reviewing anything, really review your shit. Like, critique yourself. Read through your comment, think about it like 3 times over. Be like, can this be construed as like rude or as disrespectful or something like that? Because I've noticed that a lot of the times people will just shit out a comment without even ever thinking about it. Like, I've seen it so many times on videos with like smaller creators where the comment will be like, oh man, you should make your content better. And then the content creator responds like, oh cool, how do I do that? And then they're like, I don't fucking know. What do you want from me? To know things? And it's like, okay, why did you put the message there then? At that point, you just don't like the content. It's not about them changing something, because you don't even have a specific critique in mind. And I'm not talking about me. That has happened like a couple times on my channel, but not to that level. It's not that blatant. It's not like, oh, these people just have no clue what they're talking about. But it has happened before where like someone has left a comment, just kind of like uninformed, like an uninformed comment that doesn't really check out, you know? It doesn't check out much. And I don't remember the exact comment. I'm not trying to call out anybody. I'm not trying to be like, oh, berate this guy because he commented bad. Nothing like that. I don't want anyone on this video, watching this video, to go around and start, you know, commenting on other people's comments, being like, yo, stop this, this is bad. Because that's just more negativity. That's just worse. I think really what I want out of this video is everyone who's made it this far, everyone who's watching. First of all, I appreciate the hell out of you sticking through this video. I know this one's like, this is literally me ranting about how bad the internet is, and anyone who's listening to that, I appreciate the hell out of you, because you're on the internet. You're either like me, where you're like, oh, fuck this place. I'm staying on here because I have hope, but fuck, I hate it here. Or you're part of the problem. It's one or the other. Or maybe you're neutral, honestly. I could see a lot of people just not giving a fuck. But all I really want out of this is, like, if you've watched this far, I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to, every time you comment, try to comment something positive. Try to be a good person. Try to be, like, don't comment something that you wouldn't want commented on your shit. You know, treat others how you want to be treated, which in my mind is basic common sense, but I think a lot of people don't do that, which is amazing to me. Like, I think there's a severe lack of empathy on the internet. So have empathy. Do it. Do it right now. Have some empathy. Go into a comment section right after this video and type a really nice comment to the content creator. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. It could be your favorite creator, it could be PewDiePie, it could be Mr. Beast, it doesn't matter. Even if you're throwing that comment into the void of 50 billion other comments, do it. Do me a favor, alright? Be a good person on the internet, be nice. Don't call things woke. Don't complain about video games. There's already enough people doing it. Everything you're about to complain about has been complained about by 30 other people, and half of them were, like, surprisingly sexist, okay? So just just don't complain about stuff, because that happens so often. I was reading reviews for Halo Infinite the other day, and people were saying that the game was ruined because of, like, wokeness and the LGBTQ plus community. And in my opinion, Halo is one of the most dude bro exclusive games out there. It is like Supreme wearers only. The people who play Halo are so angry and like bigoted and stuff, and it's amazing to me because I have had people like calling me the N-word in lobbies and like text chatting like, oh man, I'm so happy there's no black people in our game. And it's like, what? Oh, what the fuck? how why though? Why does it matter so much? But yeah, we're not here to talk about Halo Infinite reviews. Well, I mean, we kind of are. That is kind of the topic, but we're moving on. We're moving on to the end of this video, because at this point we've been talking for 30 minutes. This is literally a rant. This is a huge rant about the state of the internet, what's going on, and I want it to be clear. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna stay on here for as long as I can until a better platform shows up, or until, you know, this platform fixes itself. Because I'm holding out hope that the internet will eventually get better. I think eventually people will, like, go away from the internet and realize that it's unhealthy or something, and then it will create, like, a better space. I don't know. I just hold out hope. I hold out hope for a better future where we don't have to, like, you know, review a game on our own because the game reviews aren't reliable anymore or stuff like that. Because that's genuinely, it's obscuring stuff. The amount of anger and hatred on the internet is obscuring actual results, like legitimate results. Like, before you could look up a game and you could look up, like, how long does it take to beat the game? Is it a good game? You know, 10 out of 10 on IGN or whatever. But nowadays, if you go to that same thing, you'll find, like, really good games, like Tears of the Kingdom or something, being complained about by people online because they just are angry. They're just angry at, like, not even the game. Like, they're complaining about stuff that doesn't make sense to complain about. And it's weird to me. I'm trying to think of a specific example, but it's a lot harder than you think to think about that while also being coherent. But yeah, I can't think of a specific example of recent times, but I think that it's really weird to me that this is what the internet has become. It's so angry and jaded, and like, it's just everybody's pissed off all the time. Everybody's pissed off. Even me, I woke up this morning and I was just pissed off because the internet was like a terrible like area right there. It's really not healthy. It's not healthy at all. It's not. So again, I'm gonna end the video for real this time, but one more time before I go, have empathy. Be a good person, you know. Think about the things you say before you say them. Try to spread joy. Just remember that if there's any point in time where you're thinking about saying a negative comment, or you're going to say a negative comment, someone already has. And again, I'm not talking about me. Comment negatively about me all you want. Say I'm a shitty person if you want to. I do not care. Any comments on my channel, I don't give a fuck about. I mean, I might respond to it with like a witty remark or something, but at the end of the day, it does not bother me. I'm still me. I'm still rocking. And I think that's something that the internet needs to learn. I think that's something that you guys also have to practice. Because, like, again, I'm not saying that you do this or anything like that, but there's so many people on the internet that take shit so personally. Like, so personally. Even if it's just like a simple ass thing like, oh, I don't like your content. They're like, oh, I must be a terrible content creator. My comedy's bad. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are people on the internet. Shit don't matter. Which means at the end of the day, I know there's people that are going to be like, well, doesn't that mean this video doesn't matter? Yes, it does mean that. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that this doesn't matter. This should still matter to people who think that it matters, you know? And I know that makes zero sense, but at the end of the day, I think that this video is important. And I know that there's other people out there that also think this and that want other content creators out there to say this type of stuff or to be this blatant and open about how they feel about the state of it, you know? And I know that there's people out there like that. I don't know if they'll find this video or if they'll listen to this all the way through or anything like that, but I know for a fact that I'm not the only one out here being like, how is it like this? What happened? How did we get to this point? I can't be the only one. I can't be. So, if you're one of those people too, like and subscribe and all that shit, you know it helps out. And with that being said, we're actually wrapping up the video. One more time for safety, be empathetic. Use empathy. Don't be mean. Don't be a douchebag on the internet, because at the end of the day, it may not affect you personally, but it does make the entire atmosphere of the internet feel worse. Just worse. So, again, like and subscribe and all that shit if you want to help out the channel. If you want to see more shit I made, it should be appearing on screen now or in a second. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Peace out.